Hi, I'm Natalie McNeil, and you are watching She Takes on the World TV, your weekly dose of soaring inspiration and practical advice to turn your small business into something big. As an entrepreneur, communication is critical, whether that's communicating with your team, your clients, and potential clients, and with the media and public. I spend a lot of time working on improving my communication skills, but there's always something new to learn, as I'm going to talk to you about in this episode. So I was making this Filipino dish that called for a can of sardines. Now, I don't keep sardines on hand at home, so I called my partner Octavian, who was on his way home from work. And I was really busy in the kitchen, my hands were dirty, and I didn't want to stay on the phone for very long. So I told him that I couldn't talk, but that I needed him to bring home sardines because they have to be added to the base of the dish that I'd already started preparing. When he got home, he put the grocery bag on the counter. And when I opened it, I was pretty alarmed to see these huge fish looking at me. This is what he brought home. I had actually never seen sardines like this. I always only see them in a jar or in a can, and either would have worked to add to my base to get this dish right, but I couldn't add a whole fucking fish to the base. First of all, they were frozen, so it would have taken so long to thaw them, and then I would have had to clean them out so that they could even be used for cooking. So I laughed and rolled my eyes and realized that it was all my fault, and I had clearly pulled a communication fail. This story drives home a few important things to keep in mind when it comes to your communication. First, make zero assumptions. I just assumed that sardines were small and usually in a jar. Just because that's my worldview, and I'll call it my sardine lens, it doesn't mean there's nothing else out there in the world of sardines. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. I think this is really important when you're communicating with potential customers and your audience. Don't make assumptions about what they know about your business and you. Here's another example. If you have a product-based business, don't assume people know how to use your product. There's an organic skincare shop I went into recently, and they asked if I knew how to use a cleansing oil versus just a regular soapy cleanser. Very smart. No assumptions made there. Another lesson I learned from sardines is that when it comes to your instructions, a 5-year-old should understand what you mean. If I was asking a 5-year-old to grab me sardines for the base of a dish, I wouldn't expect them to know that I can't throw a whole frozen fish into a base. I did have that expectation with my partner though. What I should have said was this. Dear, I'm prepping a dish and the base calls for sardines. I'm almost done making the meal and this is one of the missing pieces, so I would prefer sardines packed into a jar or a can with just a bit of oil so I can throw them right in. Make sure they're deboned and clean because again, I just need to throw them into the dish. You'll probably find these sardines in the canned food section of the store rather than the seafood section. Do you have any questions for me? In your business, I'm all about clear instructions, and it's totally not condescending to fully explain something to someone. When we're onboarding a new client, we ask them to check their inbox, and we tell them to check their spam folder if they don't see an email from us. We lay out the next few steps they need to take, how to get in touch with us, and more. The instructions are pretty detailed, and we don't make any assumptions about things like how to log into a membership site because not everyone will have done that before. So we need to make sure someone feels comfortable taking the next steps if it's a process that they've never been through. You might think you're being too detailed and annoying your clients, but I've learned that detail is necessary and usually it's really appreciated too. One other thing I love to ask is, do you have any questions? And that's something I didn't ask my partner. If I did, he may have asked me if I wanted them in a jar, and this never would have happened. But then I wouldn't have got to make this awesome episode of She Takes on the World TV, so I'm glad it did. In your business, an FAQs page that you can direct people to is so valuable. I highly recommend having one on your site. I'm sure you get asked many of the same questions about your products and services, and the FAQ is there as a place to just have it all laid out so that you can direct people there. And if you use a customer support system like we do, we can also upload answers to FAQs so that team members have the base of their answer when replying to a client. So that's what Sardines taught me, and I hope you can learn from this hilarious experience too. My actionable for you this week is to take a look at how you onboard a new client. Check to see if you're giving detailed enough instructions and walking them through what comes next and what they can expect from working with your business. If you have a product-based business, ask yourself if you're making your customers feel 100% comfortable using your product. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and if you liked it, I hope you'll subscribe to us here on YouTube and share it with your friends. I will see you next time on She Takes on the World TV. I hope you loved the episode of She Takes on the World TV you just watched as much as I loved making it for you. I've got so much more inspiration and practical advice, plus fun worksheets to do in my upcoming book, The Conquer Kit, a creative business planner for women entrepreneurs. Pre-order the book and get amazing free bonuses at theconquerkit.com.